verse 19 and verse 18 through 26. As Jesus walked on, he saw Matthew, a tax collector, at his post. Jesus approached and said, "Follow me," and Matthew got up and followed. Now it happened that while Jesus was at the table in Matthew's house, many tax collectors and notorious sinners came to join Jesus and the disciples at dinner. The Pharisees saw this and complained to the disciples, saying, "What reason can the teacher have for eating with tax collectors and sinners?" Overhearing the remark, Jesus said, "People who are in good health don't need a doctor. Sick people do. Go and learn the meaning of the words, 'I desire compassion, not sacrifices.' I have come to call not the righteous, but sinners." As Jesus was speaking, a synagogue official came up, knelt down, and said, "My daughter has just died. But if you come and lay hands on her, she will live." Jesus got up and went with the official, and so did the disciples. As they were going along, a woman who had suffered from hemorrhages for 12 years came up behind him and touched the hem of his cloak. She was saying to herself, "If only I can touch his cloak, I will be healed." Jesus turned around and saw her. "Courage, daughter," he said, "your faith has healed you." That very moment, the woman was healed. When Jesus arrived at the house of the synagogue official, a noisy crowd had gathered, and the flute players who served as mourners had already arrived. When he saw them, he said, "Get out. This child is not dead, only asleep." They all laughed at him. After the crowd had been put out, he entered and took the girl by the hand, and she got up. The news spread throughout the countryside. The contemporary reading is "Give Yourself a Self" by Metal Femme. Love demands time to break borders and to build bridges. So give yourself time and the honor to love. So give yourself the care to love your own soul and oneness of existence. I feel tangibility in emotion in my heart and in my mother's heart, and the many hearts of women before us whose histories are erased. We have always been building a destiny coalescing the soul with metaphysicality of growth. Through our labor, through our love, through our sorrow, and through our joy.
Thank you, Sue. As I mentioned before, the Candlelight Vigil on Friday was, it was really a labor of love as far as people being there. There were officials from the HIV, from San Francisco AIDS Foundation were there, and health agencies, and also there were living obituaries, which were people who were delivered by the people who the obituary was about. They wrote it and they delivered it about what their life was like. And I was really inspired to hear that, as far as, them talking of themselves in the third person and sharing about how their lives had been affected by HIV, how their lives had been blessed by HIV, and the people and the things that they did in their life because of the connection that they had. And also the hope that they had for the people who are continuing to do the work, as well as the folks who are coming up, the young people, for doing that work. It was really inspiring to be there to hear, and also there were people talking about the directly affected by the budget cuts by the city in regards to HIV services and also other types of situations, whether there was a person from the labor union was there to talk about how they're directly affected by those things, because they're part of our community as well, and the people who get affected by these things. It's really challenging. I found that there was healing in the acknowledgement of the suffering of the people living with HIV and also their hope for moving forward. Because there were people there, it was Long-Term Survivors Day, and there were people there that had been HIV positive for over 40 years. And back in the 80s and early 90s, before protease inhibitors, they talked about, you got an HIV diagnosis, it was a death sentence. Many of them thought that was the case. And many of them are still alive today. We've lost so many. And, this church specifically has lost so many over the years. Just listening to the When We All Get to Heaven podcast will tell you that. And the collective memory of those who have been here for a very long time, that are in this room today or on Zoom, remember those people as well. But it was really inspiring to me to see that there is healing in the acknowledgement of this suffering and connection. Will you pray with me? God of the borders broken, of the tables spread, you wake our weary bodies. Where worlds have called us broken, we claim our divine wholeness. Help us to resist shame and fear. Our healing is our protest. Your grace is living here. Amen. For 12 years, that woman hemorrhaged and suffered, and she was deemed unclean by the scriptures. No one was to touch her, no one was to do anything with her, because she was unclean, because she was bleeding. She broke those borders by touching Jesus' cloak, and she found healing. Our queer bodies have been deemed unclean by those who wish to erase us. Resistance in healing means to reject the mandate to be hidden. It is radical audacity to declare our queer bodies are worthy of touch, intimacy, and community. Now, the reading talked about Jesus sitting at the table with tax collectors and other sinners, and I loved your emphasis on some of the words about those notorious sinners. I want to be in that category. I do. I really do. If it's anything else, it's going to be to push the buttons and exacerbate those people who are wanting to erase us. He spoke of valuing compassion over sacrifice. I've spoke about this before as far as how the conservative Christians and those who want to erase us are talking about how empathy is a sin. By all means, let me sin away with my empathy. And I hope you do the same as well. Families of origin and traditional religious institutions have been a source of trauma for LGBTQ plus individuals for many, many years, myself included. I know back in the 80s with Jerry Falwell, Anita Bryant, those people, there was a lot of trauma that happened. And today, we're seeing it firsthand in various parts of this country because people are in power and are trying to erase and remove and eliminate our community. We need to create chosen families and safe spaces where queer bodies are seen, touched with consent, and respected without judgment. True healing isn't found in sacrificing our authenticity to fit into harmful structures. I recognize the flames there. I'm moving away. It is found in soft, fierce sanctuary of community that wraps us in their compassion and celebrates the sacred truth of exactly who we are. I love this story about when Jesus arrived at the official's home. Those were present already written off this young girl as being dead. They were already like, oh, we're done with her now. We'll just celebrate, and honor and move on from that. And they were laughing at her possible restoration. Jesus broke another boundary, another border, another taboo by touching this assumed corpse, because that was another taboo of touching a dead body, except if you had special dispensation. And he also told them to go away. But all of these things are a call to resist erasure by saying, no, she's not dead, she's asleep. Get out of here. This is yet again another one of those lessons that Jesus is teaching us about the importance of resurrection and restoration to our wholeness. When the world devalues or tries to erase our lives, choosing to live fully, vibrantly, and authentically is a radical spiritual victory. Beloveds, as we step back out into the world today, hold fast to this truth. In a world that devalues queer bodies, our healing is our holy protest. Every time you choose to heal, you are stepping into a radical lineage. You walk with the woman who shattered taboos just to reach out and touch grace. You rise with the girl who stood tall long after the crowd had written her off. How many people in your life have you seen that happen? I think we kind of heard a witness about that today during our community prayer. We do not walk this path of resistance alone. We carry a sacred, breathing cloud of witnesses with us to support us. As the song from Friday Night Vigil echoes through our bones today, we are here in the memory of those who have fallen, here for the courage to be who we are. We carry the ones whose history the world tried to erase. Their labor, their love, their sorrow, and their joy now beats in our hearts and in our chests. We honor them by choosing to thrive so that when the world whispers that lie that you are broken, look that shadow in the face and claim your radiant divine wholeness, because you are radiantly divine. Each one of you. Let the poet's words guide your feet back home. Give yourself time and the honor to love. So give yourself the care to love your own soul. I invite you to break the borders that confine you and build bridges to sustain you. Lean into the magnificent wild growth of your own becoming. For as long as we breathe, we are continuing to become who we truly are. No matter how long it takes, there's always a new thing to learn about ourselves, to find out that extra little bit of fabulousness that we are, that we haven't seen yet. We just have to keep going forward and know that God's divine love and peace is with us. Know that your beautiful queer body, it is a sanctuary. It is holy, it is whole. And by empowering you, my siblings, I want to invite you to have the courage to be exactly who you are. Amen.
We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, here for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, here for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. We are standing in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are standing in the memory of those who have fallen, here for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. We are singing in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are singing in the memory of those who have fallen, singing for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. We are hoping in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are hoping for the memory of those who have fallen, here for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, here for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are. All together. We are here in the memory of those who have fallen, those who have fallen, those who have fallen. We are here for the memory of those who have fallen, here for the courage to be who we are, courage to be who we are.
Good morning. So, for those who...
I will take the cup of freedom and call on the name of God. I will take the cup of freedom and call on the name of God. This is the bread given of the earth, received of the fields, it will set you free. This bread of life I will take up and I will call on the name of God. I will take the cup of freedom and call on the name of God. I will take the cup of freedom and call on the name of God. This is the cup given of the earth, received of the vine, it will set you free. This cup of freedom I will take up and I will call on the name of God. I will take call to freedom and call on the name of God. I will take the call to freedom and call on the name of God.
At this church, just like any other MCC church around the planet, this table is open to all. You don't need to believe what we believe in. You don't need to be members of this church. You don't have to have a credit card. You don't have to have an ID. You don't even have to have a desire to see this as anything other than a meal of liberation and new life. As we were singing at the final part, I already consecrated the elements in lieu of time constraints we have today. So these are blessed, as well as any elements that are out there for our people joining us at home. All you have to do is come forward. There's several different ways you can do that. Our usher, Jeff, will call your row to come forward to receive a gluten-free cracker dipped in, wafer dipped in grape juice. We have hygiene kits. We have them across the hallway. We have communion kits where you can pop the top and have the communion there for you in your seat. You could also sit in your seat and observe us and witness us having communion. Or the fourth option is you could do none of the above and just stay in your seat, maybe check your email, and please don't be too disruptive while you're there, but you don't have to participate at all. But the table is set, and Jeff has the communion kits if need be. So come, let us come to the table as we sing.